Which was very seldom kay I was teaching full-time sa Bangkok sa moto nga tiyempo eh. Pero I was in Iloilo. So, I went...
You grabbed the opportunity, no?
Yeah, I grabbed the opportunity. I went out, I took a Haro CPU jeep. Pangita lang ko sang mga wrinkled nga face along the downtown area. And then I passed one corner. I saw an old woman.
Okay.
Very wrinkled face, fingers full of rings.
Rings.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Rings,
Okay.
puno ginayas ng rings niya. And then ang ears niya may mga earrings siya, pink ang kolor sa buhok niya.
Kasi sa Guangco na.
Sa Guangco gani.
Guangco,
Oh,
yes.
sa Guangco gani.
Okay.
Tapos pagkagi ko dito, sabi ko,
Nakita,
this is the woman that I would like to shoot. Okay? So I went down, I approached her, hindi siya kabati sa akon. So I thought all the while nga
Bungol.
yeah, nga dolain balang pinsan niya.
okay.
Okay, hindi siya kabati sa akon. Pero eventually, I talked to her. I told her I'm going to shoot her. She obliged me. And that kick-started my photography. That made me really big.
Wow.
The name of the woman is Rosalinda. The picture that I took of her won first place in that competition.
Wow.
And then bisan diin
Is
ko lang
this
siya.
international?
Yes, international.
Oh my God.
Tapos
Okay.
bisan anong ko lang nga competition i-join. Nagadaog gid ya picture.
Yeah.
Daog gid ya, and then naging cover siya sa madamo nga magazines, you know. So after 2 years ginbalikan ko ulit siya. I gave her some money, you know. Na-surprise siya. Why ko siya ginsugiran kun nga you know.
Ay, okay.
Pero na-surprise siya. And I think I made her very famous kay kadamo sa mga photographers na nagpangita sa iya afterwards. I tried to recreate the picture eh. Nga gin-shoot ko sa iya, ginbalikan ko siya, you know. I tried to recreate, shoot the same thing. Pero there's another lesson that I learned in photography. If you have taken a very good picture, para sa ako,
Don't
nakuha
aim
ko na
na
si
for
Rosalinda nga, naminamig gid ang picture ko kay ka Rosa ang emotion.
Anong emotion dira nga sa pag
Wala lang.
Natural.
I just
Ka-
filled up the frame with her face. Tapos I let her, you know, cover one of her eyes. The thing is, ang isa niya kamatay is good. Ang isa niya kamatay is already,
Okay.
ano ganing term?
Cataract
May
or-
cataract.
Kataraka. So I let her cover the cataract eyes first, and then I let her cover the
Okay.
good eye, you know.
Okay.
Amo talaga daw with all the earrings, with all the wrinkle,
Wow.
with the fingers niya nga may mga
Yes, may
kuan,
tiko-tiko na da.
tiko-tiko
Oo.
na.
Oo.
You know, she became very famous actually in the photography world, and a lot of people appreciate her as a person. Kay every line ng sang wrinkle
Textured
niya,
DJ
No,
may
may
story.
meaning, may story.
So I entitled the picture "Stories of Her Life."
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
And I wish she's still alive, you know, para I
Yeah.
can again go back to her, just like Lordily, you know.
Yeah.
I can again go back to her and say, Manang Rosalinda, salamat, gid.
Yeah.
Shoot liwanta. Pero you know what? As what I've told you, the most important gadget you have are your eyes, you know, and your heart, you know.
Yeah.
So some of the best photos are with the cell phone, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Pero anyway, bottom line dira is, gusto ko pag i-emphasize ang fact nga, okay, taga-diin si Rosalinda.
Yes.
Iloilo.
Wow, yes.
Taga-diin si Lordily. Sa din ko siya nakuha ang picture sa Boracay. Where I am from Lambunaw. I am from Iloilo. You know what? I have searched far and wide. You know, I
Yes,
have
you
gone. You
traveled
know, I've traveled
everywhere.
continents. You know,
Yeah.
only to
You've
realize
traversed,
some of the best photos I'll take in my life are pictures I would take sa backyard ko.
Yes, that's
Wow.
simple.
That's
That simply
simple.
shows that Ilonggo kaya. The best ka na trendy
Yeah.
ka
Best
ba?
kayo
You know
dyan,
what?
eh.
Ang isa pa, you know, kita nga mga Ilonggo, Abi, we think nga we can always find the best if we travel
That's
far,
correct.
you know? Like as
Yeah.
a photographer, you know, let's go to Bhutan, let's go to India, let's
Yeah.
go to the US, you know, let's go
Thailand.
to Hawaii, you
Yeah.
know, and hoping to take the
Dream
photo
lang.
of our life there, you know?
And you never have explored Iloilo yet.
Exactly, you know.
For you
That's
to
correct.
capture the best picture.
Exactly, you know. Kaya nga,
That's correct.
kung diri ka sa Iloilo, ginapuyong mo mata mo.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Without really realizing nga ang beauty gali is here, you know.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I learned it when I shot Rosalinda. You know, kasi siling ko, had I, where I was not looking for someone with a textured face, I never would have seen her.
Yeah.
You know,
And you
so-
would not be the Manny that we are guessing
That's
right
guessing.
now.
Precisely. Maybe less famous. Still famous, but less famous.
Yes. So
Kanami
thanks to Rosalinda.
kanami
partner.
sina nga lesson partner no.
Yeah.
Mamangkot kita sang technique bi ni Sir
Yes.
Manny bing.
How do you take your photos?
Kuno na
no?
result na yang nagdaog siya.
Yes. So, pero paano niya to
Pero
gin-shoot?
prior to that, ano
Oo.
ginhimo niya? Iban ka pangamuyo, iban
Parang iba shoot na shoot
naga-shoot na shoot sun ka pili sa iban nga pictures, kundi ang the best, iban nagatalang-talang dira ano ma'am
Anong sa likod?
ano
Ang
sa
the
imo
best
ya,
mo,
before
ang-
mo gin-shoot na
Yes,
si Rosalinda.
pinakasikreto.
Ano ang natural lang siya nga nag-abot lang da siya, wow, nakita ko sa sigadalan, namin ni siya or ano ang technique dira or ano, may ara ka
Or ginpreparahan mo na gid na
preparahan
iya,
mo, or
yes.
deep inside do may calling gid nga, amo to siya i-shoot
Yeah.
mo siya. Ano
Okay,
ano ang
ako normally kasi when I shoot, I am very spontaneous. So may mga plan ako. Let's say for example, I am looking for someone with a textured face. Okay, that's a plan, you know.
Okay.
Pero I don't know if it's gonna be a man or a woman.
Okay.
You know, so I will just go out with that, you know, frame in my mind. Na
And as
I
you
have
go along,
to, I have to find someone with a textured
Okay.
face. And then when I see her or him, you know, I have to make sure nga there's a good light, you know.
Yeah.
Kaya importante ang light sa
Okay.
photography.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
That
know?
is ni ba Rosalinda si Talia?
Oh.
She's very
I
beautiful.
know. Sino niya ba to sang una kagwapa sa akon. So I keep on talking with her, you know,
Okay.
while I was shooting her, I was talking with her. You know, so it's very
Panatag
very
siya.
spontaneous.
Okay.
Kaya nga ako magsiling ka, manang dira ka gani
Na-
sa may tubang ko.
Oo,
Yuhom gani
smart.
manang. I'm sure there
Wala.
won't be a story.
That's
Yes,
correct.
yes.
So I
Wala
let
connection.
Her, yes, so I let her
Dapat,
talk
oo.
and talk and talk. And in between talk, siling ko, abi manang itabuni ang isa mo ka mata, abi. So kalaw ay mga hambalan ko sa tabuni, abi ang tabuni, abi ang good eye mo manang para talag ang makuan, di ba?
Yes, yes.
So ginkuan ko, ang isa na ay manang kamata, and then after that, manang pwede ang isa mang kamata.
Yes.
You know, and it's so interesting because I actually made that pose famous.
Wow.
Ang tabon sa mata.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Kay-
damo nga tao sa
You
mga
made
logo
that
sila.
unique.
imitate, no?
Unique.
Yeah. I am
Trademark.
proud to say nga it is a Librodo pose.
Wow.
I would say even in the whole world kasi
Yeah.
I've never seen
Signature.
someone doing that before. You know, so if you look at the history of photography, you know,
Yeah.
kadamo subong sa nagamuna and they're claiming it as, you know, it's their unique pose. But I think as far as I could remember, I think it was Rosalinda who did it first.
Yeah. And it was in 2000.
Iloilo.
And it was in Iloilo.
It was in Iloilo.
Yeah.
At Ilonggo, kuya.
Ilonggo, kuya.
Ilonggo,
Oo.
kuya. Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, ang pictures, you know, when you take photos, no? Is there really a word na stolen shot? Or is that it's just the mga words lang na iya sa mga
Yeah.
those who
Obra,
are not
obra,
into
oo.
photography?
Actually, may aragi man ang word nga stolen shot, no? I would call it mga, they have a different way of calling it. May mga may mga moments ina nga mga ginapangambal. Hindi ako technical, pero may mga terms na sila
Yeah.
nga for picture to be effective, then your subject is supposed to be candid, you know,
Yeah,
like wala sila
candid,
nag-post sa imo or mga decisive moments.
Yes.
Or let's say pag may billboard dira being upside down ang ngalan, may tawo nga nagalakat nga opposite sina.
Yes.
You know, we're talking
Yeah.
about contrast,
Yeah,
you know.
contrast,
So
yeah.
you have to wait for that moment to happen sometimes, you know. May mga term nga muna ang mga stolen shots.
Okay.
And for me, I believe nga the stolen shots are always better than the post
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
Kay kung mag-post sila, for me, I usually would tell my students, ang mga train ko sa photography nga, please avoid ID pictures.
That's correct.
You know, if they
Preso.
magtiskog na sila magtubang sa imo kag magyum, ano pa na abi di ID
Yes.
picture, di ba?
Yes,
That's
oh.
correct.
Tanawon ta ko madaog ka sa
So
competition.
you know what?
no?
Before, no, when you say, okay, picture, that's gonna be smiling. Parang doon mo lang gid na iyayangan. Doon na lang ayan na
Oo.
sila kung ang picture wala naga-smile. Would you believe nga this time around ang mga nagasikat yung mga emotions na nga ang daw nagahibi na, no? Na mga
you know
yes,
what?
parang
That's very very true. Kaya nga amo na siya ang mas
Hindi na ang
makakuan
happy.
sang
Parang hindi
heart,
na
you know.
ang yeah.
Pero you know what? Ako when I started shooting the kids, I like to explore those kinds of emotions nga nagahibi, nga nagakuriit, nga munaabi, no? Pero along the way, sang nagapangtanaw ko sa mga picture ko, ko nga wala pa isang happy how. and then eventually,
Okay.
sang ang UNICEF got interested with my photos, And then ginapadala ko ng mga sad pictures ng
Pictures,
students.
ah.
Sila nila, hindi kami sinaya magbaton money. You know, we're not going to accept those. We want smiling kids, you know.
Okay.
So what I did was, I learned how to show smiling kids artistically. You know,
Yes.
like maybe tabon ang mata, tapos ang yuhum lang ang nagagwa,
Yes,
you know?
ah.
Or maybe pag may dimple ang bata, ang dimple lang sa
Or
bata.
parang
ang eh.
parang
Oo,
nagasit-in
mysterious
lang,
siya,
parang
oo.
okay.
Or pag may kudal,
Yes.
for example,
Parang peeping.
Gubon mo ang kudal, tapos ipapip mo ang bata.
Yes.
So, between sina,
Oh,
na
yes,
nag-smile, you know.
yeah,
So,
oo.
it's, you know, I mean, you have to be artistic about it. Just don't give them an ID picture. So,
Diri may nag-comment, Sir Manny, sa friend ko sa taga Singapore. Ginbaha ng aton diri lugar sa una sang Frank.
Yes.
Believe silang
mga
gabaha
pictures
na, pero
nagakadlaw
mga
pa.
pictures gabi juga kadlaw
Oh,
pa.
that's Pinoy. That's what Pinoys are.
Yeah, you know what? I realized that also. Well, I think it's not Pinoy actually. When you talk about kids, they're always happy.
Happy.
You know, they're
That's
always
correct.
happy. I think it's a universal emotions ng kids. Nga they're always happy.
Yeah.
Pero ang mga Ilonggo, in general, even at the kids, you know,
Yeah.
we always have that resiliency nga ginatawag nga bisan yun nga bisan gabaha na kadlaw man
Yes,
gyapon
yes.
nagayuhon man gyapon mas smile man gyapon pag may camera nga nagapoint sa ila, di ba?
Yeah.
And that's one thing I really like about shooting in Iloilo. Pero sometimes, you know, if I want to have some sort of like pictures na da medyo artistic, I try to temper that, you know, happiness. Kay as what I've said, no, I hate ID pictures, you know. I hate mga nagatiliskog ng mga bata gatubang sa akon, you know. I mean, kung nagatiliskog na malanggid, you know, well then let them do it, you know. Pero after that, you would tell them to, okay,
do
hindi ka mo
something.
magtulog sa akin, you know. Kunwari,
Hampang
nag-istoryahan,
ka mo,
ay hampang lang kamo yan, yun lang yung hampang. And then, as a photographer, you're not supposed to be so serious also nga, dapat kadlaw ka mo ha, dapat mga mo na. no?
Okay,
Dapat-
ready? 1, 2, 3, kadlaw.
Yeah, dapat ikaw mismo kadlaw ka man. Para magkadlaw man sila,
Yes,
di ba?
yes.
In the same manner nga kung gusto mo maghibi ang bata, you know, hibi ka man, you know,
Yes.
like ati wala kaya sang
Oo.
wala kaya sang tinapay.
Yes.
Ati sige tagan ta karon sang tinapay kun ang bata
Nagakadlaw
pamanan-
naman.
pero sige na ang pitik mo, you know.
Okay.
So it's about, you know, drawing out something from your subjects. Pero ang importante, even before you start drawing out something from them, hibaluon muna ang personalities ang
correct.
ginakuhaan. And as what I've been saying, in photography, you have always to be different, you know.
Yeah.
And I think angle is one thing
Yeah,
that would
the
make you
angle.
different,
Yeah.
you know. You can really go low or you can really go high.
Yeah.
Ang
Okay.
kalabanan kasi diri lang sa tunga lang
Sa
you
Yeah.
know, like eye view, you know, sang tao, you
Yeah.
know. So may ginatawag nga worm's eye view, that's the low.
Yeah.
May ara mga ginatawag nga bird's eye view dito sa taas.
Okay.
You know, so
Okay.
if you want your shots to be different, kung pwede ka kamang, kung pwede ka lupad, you know.
Yes.
Kung pwede ka kadala sang staircase, you know.
Isa ni siya ka topic ko nga nagsikat gid diri siya ginatawag ni siya nga purely ambient light.
Okay. Wow, let's talk about it.
Oh,
Kaya
ano,
na siya?
na siya ang wala na sa damo nga suga ya partner. Wala na sa damo nga light. Ang natural light lang gid dapat
Sunlight
kunon mo.
lang.
So dapat i-explain niya gid kung paano
Okay.
para maintindihan sa mga kauturan naton nga dapat gid bala may suga magpa-picture, may flash. Ano ang ambient light na
Yeah.
partner?
Ano natawag nga? Purely ambient
light.
light.
Oo.
Okay, yeah, it's natural light, no? Light that you have from the sunlight. Learn how to
Outdoor
manage.
lang.
Yeah, learn how to manage it. You know, if the light is from the right, then you have to reflect it with a reflector para nga magbalanse ang light, so to speak, no?
Okay.
Pero siguro what I will do siguro is I would like to talk to you about my history as a photographer kasi
Yes.
it would show ko nga ang I prefer ambient lighting, no?
Okay.
Ang history ko ya sa photographer, gidya I started travels, you know.
Yes.
So sa travel, hindi ka man kadalas ang light, di ba?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Secondly, hindi ako technical. So even if gusto kong mag-learn sang lighting, my mind won't allow me to learn that kasi hindi ko kaya magmix-la sang light, mag-amuna abi, no? And then when someone started teaching me about how to deal with the light, siling ko, pero you know what? I want to be different, you know? I want to make ambient lighting photography more popular. And I want to tell people nga pila ka bilog sa mga nag-learn sa photography, pila ka bilog ang madalas ang light kung magkadto sila sa
Yes,
wala,
oo,
you know?
doon mo daw mga
So I think it's
Yes.
more, they can relate to me if they're shooting only with a natural light. That's one. And then secondly, if they are not technical, kasi karamihan sa photographers subong hindi technical you know.
Okay.
So they can relate to me. In other words, ang market ko would be bigger. so
Yeah.
to speak.
Okay.
And then secondly, an ambient lighting is always natural.
Yeah. You need to have your own studio.